Distinguished investors, analysts, media representatives, and other participants, welcome to Rīgas ūdens investor webinar. We will start with company's presentation, followed by a live Q&A session. If you would like to ask your question to the company, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. For your convenience, we are recording this session and replay will be available shortly after the call. That being said, I'm turning the call over to our hosts, Krišjāns Krūmiņš, Chairman of the Management Board of the company, Normons Zaunis, Member of the Management Board, and Agnes Ozolkai, Member of the Management Board of Rīgas ūdens.
Thanks for introducing us. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining this NASDAQ webinar. And today we are going to walk you through our operations, financial insights, and the way how we think about taxonomy, green bond aspects, and our strategic planning. So let's move forward. General info about Riga Water. Besides on that screen now you can see our wastewater treatment plant. That's a rather tough technological factory. As we can say it, you can see 3 digesters, but Normons, my colleague, will in details explain how that, as we say, factory or treatment plant work. So here is a quadrant, and you can see, for instance, that on the left-hand side there is our total length of infrastructure. It's almost 3,000 kilometers of sewage network and water pipe network. Of course, our biggest value is our employee. And by the way, we have approximately 44% engineers working in our company, and of course clients. And we can see that customer satisfaction is rather high. On the right-hand side on the quadrant, you can see the screenshot of financial insights, and my colleague Agnes will tell you in details about these numbers. In the middle, you can see that we have received Moody's rating A3, and we are proud of that, and that we as Riga Water are regulated public service provider, and of course we are 100% owned by Riga City municipality. And on the above the quadrant, you can see that if we talk about the volumes of water and sewer, then we are approximately half of total Latvia local market. And on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see our strategic points of operations. We have underground water intake and surface water intake. And of course, our biological treatment plant that discharge all treated wastewater in Riga, in the Baltic Sea, approximately 2 kilometers from the shore. So let's move forward to his history. And we are proud that our company has a long history, more than 400 years already. And the first pipes were wooden pipes, and it started in 1620. And by the way, at that time, there were only 11,000 inhabitants in Riga City. Today, we have 600,000 inhabitants. And I can point out that on 1978, there were living approximately 700,000 inhabitants. And therefore, there was done and built and Daugava, that is the largest surface intake source of drinking water. And at that time, there were plans that by 2000, there were living approximately 1 million inhabitants already in Riga. But as I said before, now there is 600,000 inhabitants. And why I'm saying that? I'm saying that because Riga infrastructure is built for more inhabitants that we are live today in Riga, and it means that we have development capacity, including in our network also neighborhood. And since we have joined the European Union, we already have investments from Europe, approximately 125 million euros. So moving forward to our vision of Riga Water. And in that slide, I can say proudly is that we also have joined some international projects together with Worldwide Fund that make some research regarding river quality in Latvia, regarding that and these rivers, of course, all ends in Baltic Sea as our treatment plant also. And so we are interested to join that international research program regarding this catchment area and so on. And of course, we provide also drinking water for festivals and Riga Marathon. That was in the last Sunday, of course, in Riga as well. And we are building some outdoor bottle filling stations, and also we introduce these filling stations in schools. So moving forward to our organizational structure. As I said before, we are 100% owned by Riga City Municipality. Representative from Riga City Municipality is Jānis Lange, who is Executive Director in Riga City Municipality. We have independent supervisory board and consisting of 3 board members. We have in-house internal audit, and also we have risk management in our company. And of course, management board, we are 3 members of that board. So the main departments, the core departments, as we can say in Riga Water are drinking and sewage network department, then wastewater treatment department, sewage pumping station department, and production of drinking water department. And of course, we invest in our employees. We buy several courses, and we already cooperate with technical schools to have new engineers introduced in our company. Also, we are participating in Riga Technical University career fairs. So regarding management board and supervisory board, I will shortly introduce myself, and then in general supervisory board also will be introduced by me. My education, my background is engineering. I have finished Riga Technical University construction engineering. I have a master's degree in water and wastewater treatment, and I have a master's degree in business administration. My work experience previously is Riga International Airport, where I was responsible for airfield construction, designing, and several other projects, and also maintenance. And I have worked a lot also for real estate developers. And I already work in Riga Water more than 10 years. So please, Agnes, introduce yourself.
My name is Agnes Ozolkai. I joined Riga Water Company in 2023, in the period when we started this long-term strategy developed, 2040. And together with these business needs, my responsibility was to align these business needs with financial possibilities, since I have experience in banking industry almost 20 years, starting from credit analyst, credit decision-making body, customer relationship manager, and member of the board in SEB Leasing.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Norman Zolis. My education is I have a master's degree in international affairs and bachelor degree in business administration. My work experience is connected to state and self-government institutions. And after Latvia joined the European Union, I also used to work in Luxembourg in European institutions for a while. And so I have joined Riga Water since 2010. I work as a member of board already since then, and helping to create this company for the best governed company in Latvia and in Baltic states. And so my responsibilities is about operational things in this company.
Yeah, thank you, Norman and Agnes. And I believe, and it's already proved, that we have highly professional supervisory board. They come from different fields. For instance, Dace Ļuse is previous head of SAB pension fund. We have in board Tālis Juhna, who is currently rector of Riga Technical University. He is a professor in field of drinking water. And we have Imants Paeglīts, who have extensive previous experience working in road traffic and safety directorate. He was responsible for development on inspection system. He also introduced digitalization and risk management system in that company. And what is not seen here in our supervisory board and management board, we have also introduced advisory board that consists of 5 members, and these 5 members work abroad. We have representative from Irish Water, we have from Netherlands representative, then from Finland, or from Sweden, and from Estonia as well. We meet once a year and discuss several issues regarding strategic planning and some technological issues. For instance, in that year, we discussed about our expansion of wastewater treatment plant. So regarding that slide rating, of course, that there were done extensive work to prove Moody's that we are A3 rating company. We introduced to them our long-term strategy, our well-defined goals, and of course, mid-term strategy and short-term strategy, where they saw our activities in field of research, designing, construction, and several other direct activities. And of course, it's also aligned with our financial strategy. So there is no some activities without money and investment coverage. And also we are proud that Moody's invited me to present our way of strategic planning to their offices around the world. So, business overview, my colleague Normons will give you some insights regarding our core operations.
Yeah. So we have strictly regulated, but 4 major divisions. Let's say it's water production, which is diversified resources where we take. So it's underground water we are using, and also surface water from the river. I'll tell you later on a little bit more deeper. And the second scope is about the water supply. So we use 1,500 kilometers of water pipes to supply water to our clients, which is about the length of from Riga to Prague, if you imagine. And so we deliver this water until the premises of the house or the building, and later on and we have agreement with this owner of this house, and then later on he is dividing this water to the apartments or so on. So the next big part is about the wastewater. We also collect the wastewater, which is important to mention. We collect wastewater not only from Riga clients, but also from Riga region clients. Because we have the largest wastewater treatment plant near the sea, which Christian has already mentioned, and we are able to have the best experience to dealing with wastewater treatment. And after this process, we discharge clear water to the Baltic Sea, 2.4 kilometers from the shore. So a little bit about this division, let's say. Water abstraction, we have diversified it. So we take, as I already mentioned, we are using 50%, we take surface water, which is taken from the river Daugava and then prepared until drinkable this status. So you can easily drink this water. Of course, it's not easy with a quite production take a lot of energy for this procedure. So, but it's clear and you can easily drink it. And of course, another 50% we take from underground water, which is also we take off some manganese and some other things from the water. So, and again, it's transferred to our clients. And so if you look at the Riga, which is divided by the river Daugava, let's say, so half of it you take from one source water and half of it from the other source. And then it's in the middle, the old town, where it's mixed water. And which is what is important to mention. So we have also strictly regulated quality of water, and water is drinkable everywhere where you are in Riga from every tap water. Water supply. So as already mentioned, 1.5 thousand kilometers of water pipes. And so to get to the clients, which are more or less of 600,000 people in Riga. So it's important to get not only the quality water, but also in needed amount in needed. So it also takes to all the apartments also. So, and for us, and also regulations say that it's always needed to be checked. So we are sure about the quality. So there are national monitoring plan, which we send reports. So our institutions different, but apart from that, we also taking every day from several points in Riga quality control measurements. So to be sure that people can easily be sure that they drink secure water. About the wastewater, as already mentioned, it's not only 1,200 kilometers of sewer lines, which transfer this sewer network to our wastewater treatment plant, but also pipes outside Riga border. So we take also wastewater from Riga region. And then all this wastewater is transferred using also 107 sewage pumping stations to this wastewater treatment plant. What is important to mention also, we are dealing with rainwater, because not everywhere in city is divided rainwater system and wastewater treatment system. So, and as we already know, have mentioned that since last 10 years, when the climate is changing too much and heavy rains are coming, we also have a plan how to deal with that, and our investments also are in place for that. And about wastewater treatment plan, which is biological wastewater treatment, as already mentioned, after a clear process and after getting this wastewater treated until the level which is European directives have set, it's dispersed in the Baltic Sea. We are also are ready for next European legislation, which sets more higher even levels of treatment, which we need to reach. We know how to reach it. And also we have a very good consultants from international abroad, which is at the moment Veolia Kruger company, which helps us to overlook of the process and to be sure that you use the correct amount of reagents and other things. So it's reliable and to reach these levels. Which is common to the whole Europe. In the wastewater treatment process, one of the parts which are the sludge is a thing which is produced in this process, and the part if we look compared to other European cities, as in Riga, there is not heavy metals production or something like that. Our sludge is quite clean, and so we are able to put it in digestion tanks, and after digestion process is possible to use in agriculture instead of, for example, in some Germany cities or other European cities where they have heavy metals inside, they cannot use it in agriculture. They need to burn it and to do some other things. So we are on one hand very lucky with that. At the moment, we are dealing with more or less 70% of sludge, and it's connected with our volumes of methane tanks, which is not enough at the moment, but we are in the process of building another ones. And so we'll be able to treat with all the sludge by the year 2030. And which is good about these methane tanks, that it's in the process is also biogas is produced in that, and from that biogas it's possible to get the electricity and the heat. And so this is the core thing which is for our way also, which European standards have said that we need to reach the energo neutrality in this wastewater treatment process. So we are also know how to reach it, and we will be ready for that. About our customers, if we look, we have 24,000 contracts, which if we look by the scope, it's about 40% is apartment buildings, 40% these private houses or detached houses, and 80% non-residential premises, which is around, if we look contracts, 10,000 private houses, 10,000 apartment buildings, and 4,200 these non-residential premises. But of course, if you look about the volumes of our for our customers, then of course majority is used by apartment buildings, which generate around 78% of our turnover, more or less. And of course, for us, it's very important to work with all the stakeholders and in different fields, like, for example, for shareholders, which we have our delegation agreement reports about what we need to improve, how we work, what are results. And then we also, this new thing about working with financial partners, new scope, like not only banks, like now the private investors and things like that. Then we work, of course, we have very quite ambitious investment plans also. So we already work with our suppliers. We're telling them what our expectations from them. So they are ready also to be ready for the construction, for services, for supply, so to reach our goals. Of course, clients is the most important why we work. So we keep quite high satisfaction level at the moment. As you already saw, it's more than 80%. And of course, we keep this level quite high for all the time. And also, we never stop. We always ask our clients what they want us to improve, how we can improve, and we try to also involve them in our process. And the society, of course, we try to involve also society inside so they understand us more, involve also in our activities, in educational sources, in other things. So we are making this company more open and more common for all the stakeholders. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Norman, for insight. I think it was already some deep insight, so you can know how we operate our business model. So my part is to walk you through ESG overview and the way how we plan our strategy. And on that photo, take a look on the building, historical building that is located close to the lake. And the fact is that that building is our Baltazar's pumping station. And the building was built, and water pipes towards Riga was built from bonds. And Riga city municipality issued bonds in 1901. And the bond amount that, if we can reevaluate in today's money, was approximately 160,000 million euros. So that historical building was built from bonds. So let's move further. So our ESG policy, here you can see our midterm strategy and of course 8 non-financial goals and 5 financial goals. The way how we build our strategy is based on European Directive of Sustainability Reporting, and we covered all the taxonomy principles that need to be covered regarding environmental issues, social issues, and governance issues. And of course, we took into account United Nations goals towards sustainability and how we build that. So, for instance, environmental issues are the most costly for us. For instance, the first one regarding energy efficiency, it's not the way in the level we treat wastewater, it's how we treat. So our goal is to reach by 2030 already energy neutrality approximately in 85%. So as Norman mentioned before, the energy we will take from additional 2 digesters. We will have much more electricity from those 2 digesters, and we can reach that goal. Of course, we introduce solar panels as well. Second one is connected with how we treat wastewater. We need to expand our treatment plants so we can take much more wastewater than currently. For instance, current capacity for our wastewater treatment plant is approximately 10,000 cubic meters per hour. After expansion, the capacity will grow up to 18,000 cubic meters per hour. And of course, why we do that? We do that to have the possibility to connect Riga city neighborhoods. We will do that because we don't want to discharge large amounts of wastewater in the heavy rainfalls in Daugava. So we do that. And so the third part is regarding we need efficient use of water resources. And of course, we need to repair and rebuild water pipes. Why we need that? We need that because if there's a leakage of drinking water, so it means the pumping station is doing extra jobs that is not need to be done. So there's extra, again, electricity used for that. And of course, customers will pay for that. And if we talk about sewage pipes, again, if there is leaks and the ground level is rather high, it means that we are pumping towards our treatment station to giving additional not needed capacity, so that what wastewater treatment station, and we are pumping clean water towards it. And if for instance, groundwater is low, it means that the ground surrounding these leaks are polluted. So these are the main points aligning with taxonomy and the green bonds we are going to invest. Regarding social aspects, of course, as Normans already mentioned, it's very important that we educate our customers, that we talk with our third parties, we make some development conferences, we have contact with our clients. And of course, as I said in the beginning, that employees are the most valuable in Riga Water. So we need to have some courses for them. We need to introduce in our company high expertise engineers. And regarding governance issues, there is needed transparency regarding our procurements and the way we deal with customers and third parties. So let's move further. Here you can see our KPIs for the long-term strategy 2040. These same objectives were already transformed in the previous slide I showed you for mid-term strategy. These are the highest goals for the long-term strategy. I already mentioned why we need to renovate water pipes and sewer pipes. And I can say that we are in that planning period, our ambition is very high. We are going to renovate 5 times more water pipes than previously, 3 times more sewage pipes than previously. And we need to decrease water leakage by 30% by year 2040. And of course, by year 2040, there should be already in place 100 energy neutrality when we treat our waste waters. And of course, I mentioned that we need to expand our wastewater treatment plants so we can update, increase our hydraulic capacity. And of course, that during that update of wastewater treatment plants, there will be wastewaters treated in much higher level than currently. And regarding euros, you can see that we need, our goal is approximately 500 million euros in investment in long-term strategy. And in that mid-term strategy 2028, in that case, we need 235 million, and approximately 60% of these investments are aligned with taxonomy, and we deal with climate change mitigation issues and water and marine resource issues. And we are ready. We already have this taxonomy portfolio in place, and Agnes will tell you later that you can be sure that they are 100% green bonds according to green bond standards. So my colleague Agnes will give some insights in financials.
Yes, you currently see quite ambitious investment plan. And firstly, I touch with historical financial highlights. Our income level year to year is stable, actually with positive trend to increase. There are two factors that influence this revenue. One factor is consumption. It depends and correlates actually from a number of residents. But since we are already servicing surrounding territories of Riga, and every year we connect new clients. Last year it was 2,200 customers. Our consumption is stable for several years. The second factor is tariff, and tariff methodology between Baltic states is similar. It includes all costs that is related to this production units. Comparing to 2024, average tariff was a little bit lower comparing to average tariff in 2023. Therefore, this income level is flat. And the reason behind that is that at the end of 2022, there was quite high energy prices, and we introduced into tariff and increased our tariff. But afterwards, the situation was stabilized, we decreased this tariff at lower level. On the right side, you can see that cash flow from operations is quite stable, and actually we reached 25 million euros EBITDA level, its highest point. And the reason behind is that actually that is effect from previous year's investments. For example, last year we opened the Baltic largest pumping stations that save us more than 1,700 megawatt hours only for one unit energy. Also, there was a better energy price that we purchased, and this is a result that each investment we are focusing on cost reduction in future. Therefore, we expect that EBITDA level will be more than 30% also this year, and in the future more than 40%. Regarding leverage level, existing loan is at the end of the last year 68 million euros. Historically, during last 3 years, we invested around 100 million euros. Half of that is our own fund. As therefore, our leverage level is quite conservative, I would say, but also taking into account this future needs, 235 million euros, we not expect that our leverage level will exceed 3.5, 3.6 EBITDA level. It's still quite optimal level for us. Also, credit rating agency evaluates this aspect as well. On the right side, there you can see the major changes in asset level. In 2023, late December, we received approval from regulator that we could include asset revaluation. Therefore, during last year, we made external revaluation from third party. Our assets was reviewed, and underground assets especially. And we find a third party opinion that actual value of our assets is 700 million euros. This methodology was confirmed by a regulator, and during next 12 months, we will go with new tariff proposal, taking account this value into regulated asset base. And this also resulted with higher equity level as well. There you can see income split by segments. Around half of that is income from sewage services, and the remaining part from water supply services. It correlates also with our tariff. Each tariff water supply consists from costs that is related to production and supply. Sewer services tariff also includes production, not production, but treatment and collection part. In the right side, you can see that our tariff is quite low comparing to surrounding territories of Riga, and also taking into account this asset revaluation in the future, tariff could increase approximately 26-28 cents only. It still will remain the lowest point. There you can see also differences between these regions. For example, Gārkalna, Mārupe, Ķekava, the main difference goes in this huge part. And its reason behind is that actually these municipalities pay us the same tariff as Riga residents. And top of that, they includes also their administrative cost or maintenance cost for their network. Regarding funding profile, our loans is at the end of the 2024 was 68 million euros. And additionally, on top of that, we at the end of the year was 20 million liquidity buffer from the long-term loans and also credit lines that was not utilized. In the beginning of first quarter, we already used this 8 million euros from European Investment Bank. And on the left side, you can see this repayment schedule. There you can see that all liabilities is in a long-term period. Local banks providing these loans with maturity, legal maturity for 5 years, but also repayment schedules for 15 years. It means that at the end of Swedbank loan, loans could be refinanced or prolonged for next 10 years. Our EBITDA level, as I point out, is 25 million euros. It's still with buffer to serve all these liabilities and also these new liabilities that is upcoming. Revenue part. There you can see the development of our revenue. And the first quarter, you see also this increase since our tariff is increasing. I would like to point out this depreciation amortization part in 2024. This is the reason why our our profit before taxes is negative. Depreciation is increased up to 42 million euros. It's accounting. It's accounting loss. But actually, at the same time, we have additional compressive income, 351 million euros. And it doesn't matter if there will be, if there will not be this revelation, still our net result and the earnings will be the same amount, 8.5 million euros. Regarding balance sheet, you can see that there is a fixed asset that is increased due to this revelation. On the right side, the same amount, you can see this revelation reserves that year to year gradually decreased or amortized. You can see that also we have decreased our short-term deposits and cash reserves. It was a strategic decision that still keep unutilized limits in credit institutions and not to pay additionally interest costs. Therefore, if we look at our liquidity ratio and taking into account also this unutilized credit limits, our liquidity will be 1.3. There is no major changes in account receivables. Our bad debt is around 1.06%. It's still quite low. There is no tendency that it increased. And the reason behind is that our costs for average household income level is below 1%. On the right side, you also can see this deferred revenue, and this is the EU funds sources that year to year amortizing. There is financial summary. I will not go into details. I already described this reason. Maybe I not point out this dividend policy. In Riga city, dividend policy is approved also for next period. 10% will be paid out for Riga city, also till 2030. On the right side, you could see that there is quite large investment plans during last 3 years, and for next period, the depreciation after this revelation will be around 30 million euros, and that's the reason that this is amount that should be invested into this network, especially on top of that, this expansion. And we expect that our profitability margin will increase during next period. And you could see also the tendencies are already in the first quarter. Transaction. Yes, we are decided to provide this green bond program in amount of 60 million euros. The first tranche is 20 million euros with fixed rate 4%, and payments will be paid quarterly. tenor will be 5 years, unsecured and guaranteed, but we have European green bond standard in place. It is evaluated by external partner. Our nominal value is quite low, and the reason behind is that we are interested to attract not only institutional investors, but also private investors. And we are going into the public at June 5. What is differences regarding green bonds? For international institutional investors, green bond is confirming that we are on the highest standard in green standard. There is certified by third party sustainable Fitch. We are the fifth company in the Europe that reached this level. And from private individuals, it says that actually we not only meet technical criteria, but there is strict monitoring how we use it. And we will report after utilization and also reviewed by the same company, Fitch. These are projects that I already mentioned before. The first part goes to this renovation of network, and second part goes to this Daugavpils treatment plan upgrade. And in summary, this is your opportunity to invest in the infrastructure company with long historical experience that has a strong credit rating, Moody A3, the same ratings that has Latvian state. And we also invite to be a part as a private investor. Thanks.
Thank you for the presentation. We'll now be opening the floor for questions. Please submit them in writing through the Q&A window. Questions can be submitted either anonymously or with your name. The first question that we have received: considering that this is the first issue under 60 million euro bond program, when do you plan the next issue? What are the criteria and timeline for future bond issues?
Yes, our bond program is valid for 1 year, but the decision about second part will be taken in September. It's a period the same when we have clear procurement process covered for this development part of Daugavpils treatment plan.
Thank you. Does the company plan to regularly publish financial reports? How will the investors be able to follow the progress of the projects?
Currently, we already publish it in Latvian language, unfortunately, but in the future, we also publish the quarterly reports also in English, and it will be available on our website.
Thank you. Why did you decide to go for bonds rather than using the traditional bank financing that is cheaper?
Yes, you already seen that there is quite ambitious investment plan. And in this situation, when you reach leverage level at 3.5, you should think about diversify your funding sources. And this diversification is the reason why we attract the bond from the one hand, from the risk side, financial risk side. From other hand, we also increased visibility and engagement with our customers and our employees.
Currently, the last question that we have received: what were the reasons for losses in 2024?
Yes, it's accounting losses. The main reason. I could go back maybe in presentation. In this slide. Yes, you can see that we have quite stable income level and we have quite controlled cost levels. Therefore, EBITDA level is stable. But below that, there is this depreciation and amortization that is increased by 26 million euros. And this is a reason and effect from revelation aspect. Meantime, you could see the last rows that we have additionally extra income. Therefore, our return earnings actually is positive.
Thank you. There's a comment from a participant. Thank you for insightful presentation. And here comes the question. How can you grow business and profitability levels moving forward? Regarding that, Rīgas ūdens business model revenue streams are strictly regulated by tariffs. In addition, taking into account decreasing number of inhabitants in Riga city, where do you see potential growth paths? And how do you plan to execute on them? One is to increase tariffs, but how sustainable is it?
So I can comment that Riga city inhabitants are not decreasing anymore. We have already some stable usage of drinking water previously 3-4 years. And also we are looking to Riga city neighborhoods to provide them without drinking water in much more amounts that we do currently. And there is a need to talks with these neighborhood municipalities. So maybe some other comments from my colleagues.
Yeah, it's already mentioned that actually the last year was the first years that the number of citizens that actually is our client end users is increasing, not decreasing. Therefore, we feel quite stable on consumption level.
Thank you. I assume this has answered also our next question, which was the amount of citizens in Riga is decreasing. How this issue will impact your operations?
Yeah, it's already covered. Yeah.
As it seems we don't have any more questions, we will close the call shortly. Before doing that, Rīgas ūdens, over to you.
Yes. First of all, thank you for your showing interest in Riga water. And I can close that session with some Latvian writer who lived in the beginning of 20th century. Reinis Kaudzīte once said that trees that grows in strong wind has very strong roots. And we can say regarding to our business that we already have established business in 1620s. So it means more than 400 years we already provide citizens of Riga with drinking water, and we treat sewage in the highest possible levels and discharge them in the Baltic Sea. So you can rely on us, and you are welcome to grow with us so we can achieve our goals, and we will help you achieve your own goals. Thanks a lot.